Wow! Building on time? I've been wanting to try to build something for speed for a long time. Let's learn how to build planet Earth.
Round 1.
I decide to build my planet Earth in a very simple way because making a perfect sphere sounds way too difficult for me. Instead, I start creating something that looks more like a giant cube-shaped planet. The bottom section is built entirely from stone blocks because I imagine that deep underground layers should be made from solid rock. I keep the entire underside flat instead of trying to round it out. A lot of beginner builders think every planet must be perfectly spherical, but sometimes a simple shape can still communicate the idea clearly. After finishing the bottom, I move to the right side and cover it with sand blocks. I want different sides of the planet to represent different environments. Using different materials is one of the easiest ways to tell a story in a build. Even without signs or labels, players can immediately understand that one area is supposed to be dry while another might support plant life. That is something I always try to remember when building large structures. After completing the sandy side, I move around to the back of the planet and build another sandy section. This time, however, I leave a large opening in the middle. Instead of filling the entire wall with blocks, I create a recessed area where water will eventually go. Water features usually look better when they sit slightly below the surrounding terrain because they feel more natural. If water is placed completely flat against the surface, it can sometimes look unfinished. I carefully pour water into the opening and make sure it spreads correctly without escaping everywhere. Water can be surprisingly difficult to control in Minecraft, especially when working with unusual shapes. Taking a little extra time here helps keep the build looking neat. I like how the blue water immediately creates contrast against the yellow sand because strong contrast makes important details easier to notice. Now I start working on the front and left sides of the planet. These areas receive a completely different treatment because I want them to represent more fertile land. I cover them with dirt blocks and try to vary the shapes slightly so everything does not look perfectly symmetrical. Natural landscapes rarely follow perfect patterns, and adding small variations usually improves realism. While building the front section, I suddenly get an idea. Instead of making the planet completely solid, I create an uneven entrance leading inside. This opening gives players something to explore and makes the build feel more interactive. Once inside, I replace the visible interior with stone blocks. Since dirt would not normally exist throughout the entire core of a planet, stone feels like a much more believable material. Thinking about what exists beneath the surface often helps make builds feel more complete. With the entrance finished, I focus on the left side and begin creating raised stone formations. These act like small mountains sticking out from the terrain. Elevation changes are important because completely flat surfaces tend to look boring. Even simple hills can dramatically improve the appearance of a landscape. I use stone because exposed rock is common in mountainous regions and helps break up the large areas of dirt. While shaping these formations, I think about how real terrain develops. Mountains often reveal deeper layers of material that would normally be hidden underground. Recreating ideas like that in Minecraft helps landscapes feel more believable even when they are built from simple blocks. The raised sections also improve the silhouette of the planet by adding more visual variety around the edges. Finally, I cover the top of the planet with grass blocks. The green color immediately makes the build feel more alive. However, after stepping back and looking at everything, I realize something is missing. The planet has different environments and terrain, but it still feels empty. To solve that problem, I place saplings across the grassy areas and grow several trees. Trees are incredibly useful because they add height variation and make landscapes feel established rather than newly created. After that, I add grass and flowers throughout the surface. Small decorative details often have a bigger impact than people expect. A few plants can completely change the atmosphere of a build. Once everything is finished, the planet looks much more natural and interesting, proving that even a simple cube-shaped world can feel alive with the right finishing touches. Phew! I barely made it on time. Great, my planet Earth is ready.
Hello.
Hey, Carrie, look. I built it in just 5 minutes. Do you like?
Yay!
Really? I am very glad that you like my makeshift construction. Maybe then you'll try to build planet Earth yourself in just 10 minutes?
Ta-da!
They ran to the place. This is where your building will be. Are you ready?
Yay!
Then go ahead.
Round 2.
Carrie immediately starts building her planet Earth from the bottom up. But instead of using ordinary stone, she chooses valuable ores as the foundation. I am honestly surprised by that decision because most people would probably save rare materials for decorations. She begins with emerald ore near the bottom and gradually transitions into diamond ore and other valuable resources as the layers rise upward. Even though she is not saying anything, I can tell she is trying to create a planet that feels rich with underground treasures. From an educational standpoint, this is actually a clever way to visualize how different resources might exist beneath the surface. Layering materials helps communicate structure, and structure is important when building something that represents an entire world. The different ore textures also create visual interest without requiring complicated shapes. Once the valuable layers are established, Carrie starts covering the upper sections with stone blocks. This makes a lot of sense because stone acts as a transition between the deep underground resources and the surface terrain. One thing many builders forget is that transitions are important. Jumping directly from rare ores to grass can sometimes feel abrupt. By placing stone in between, the planet gains a more believable geological structure. I also noticed that she continues filling the remaining sides, using a mixture of stone and different ores. This prevents any side of the planet from looking identical to another. Variety helps large builds remain interesting from multiple viewing angles, which is especially important when the build can be observed from every direction. As the structure nears completion, Carrie begins covering the top with dirt and peat blocks. Using multiple earthy materials instead of relying on a single block adds much more texture to the landscape. Real terrain rarely consists of one material repeated everywhere. Small changes in texture help environments feel more realistic. After finishing the surface, she starts planting grass and growing trees. Vegetation is often the final step that transforms a collection of blocks into something that feels alive. Trees also help establish scale because they give viewers familiar objects they can compare against the size of the planet. The combination of natural elements and underground resources creates a build that tells a complete story from the surface all the way down to the deepest layers.
Ta-da! Yay!
Where did everyone run off to? Hey guys, what's all that noise?
Carrie and I are building planet Earth on time, JJ. Who did it better?
Oh, both of your buildings look great, but I think it's up to the audience to decide who did the best.
Yes, JJ, you're right. Maybe then you have comments on the construction of Carrie?
Yes, there are a couple of comments. On such a planet, the center of gravity is strongly shifted. It simply would not hold in space. It's not logical.
I totally agree with you, JJ. Maybe then you can build your planet Earth in 15 minutes?
Okay, then let's run to the place.
JJ, good luck to you. We'll wait in the house.
But?
Thanks, guys. Then I'm starting. Round 3. I decide to approach planet Earth in a completely different way. Rather than beginning with terrain or solid blocks, I use a command to create a floating source of water high above the ground. This single water block becomes the center point for the entire project. Starting from a central reference point is a useful building technique because it helps maintain symmetry while constructing large shapes. Since my goal is to create a spherical planet, keeping measurements consistent in every direction becomes extremely important. Many builders struggle with spheres because even a small mistake can become very noticeable once the structure grows larger. By establishing a clear center from the very beginning, I give myself a much better chance of maintaining a balanced shape throughout the entire build. From that central point, I begin expanding outward using water. Instead of placing traditional building materials, I construct the entire outer shell of the planet from flowing water blocks. This creates a unique effect because the planet immediately feels different from anything built with stone or dirt. Water is usually used as a feature within a landscape rather than as the landscape itself. Reversing that expectation creates something visually interesting. While extending the sphere, I constantly check the curvature from multiple angles. Building a convincing sphere requires careful observation because Minecraft naturally favors square geometry. The challenge is creating the illusion of roundness using block-based mechanics. I still have a lot of time left. I definitely have to do everything in time. As the sphere grows larger, I continue shaping all sides of the planet. One thing that helps when building spheres is focusing on the silhouette rather than individual blocks. Most viewers will judge the overall shape first. If the outline appears smooth, the planet will feel spherical, even if some sections are not mathematically perfect. I gradually extend the water structure in every direction, making sure no side becomes noticeably larger than another. Maintaining balance is one of the most important principles in large-scale construction because asymmetry often becomes more obvious as a build increases in size. The water sphere is now taking shape, and I spend some time refining the outer edges. Water can be difficult to work with because it constantly tries to spread into nearby spaces. That means planning becomes just as important as placement. Every new section must account for how surrounding water behaves. Although the process is time-consuming, it creates a unique visual effect that ordinary blocks cannot replicate. The reflective surface gives the planet an appearance that changes depending on viewing, angle, and lighting conditions. With the basic planet completed, I begin introducing landmasses using lime wool. The bright green color contrasts strongly against the blue water, making the continents easy to identify. Color contrast is extremely important in map-like builds because viewers need to understand what they are seeing immediately. I place the wool carefully to create recognizable areas of land rather than random patches. Even simple continent shapes can dramatically improve the readability of the build. At this stage, project finally starts resembling an actual world rather than a giant floating sphere. After adding more lime wool, I take a step back and evaluate the result. While the concept works, I quickly realize that this version is not nearly impressive enough to compete with the other builds. Using commands, I begin generating a completely different planet nearby. This new version is enormous compared to the first one. The scale alone immediately transforms the project into something far more impressive. Large builds often create stronger emotional reactions because viewers instinctively compare them to familiar objects. As the structure appears, different regions begin taking shape across its surface. My goal is to create a world that showcases nearly every Minecraft biome in a single location. The giant planet continues forming, and distinct environments become visible across its surface. Forests, deserts, snowy regions, plains, and many other biomes begin appearing. One thing I enjoy about biome-based builds is that they naturally demonstrate environmental diversity. Minecraft contains a huge variety of ecosystems, and placing them together on a single planet creates a visual celebration of that variety. Each biome contributes different colors, textures, and terrain shapes, making the surface feel much richer than a single material landscape. As the generation process continues, additional structures begin appearing throughout the world. Various landmarks help break up the terrain and make the planet feel inhabited rather than empty. Adding recognizable structures is a useful technique because it gives viewers points of interest to discover. I've got half the time left. I'm kind of in time. Exploration becomes more rewarding when there are destinations worth finding. The combination of biomes and structures turns the planet into something that feels alive rather than decorative. Unfortunately, the command process does not go perfectly. Some areas generate incorrectly, leaving awkward gaps and strange terrain formations. Situations like this are actually common when working with large-scale command-based projects. Automation can save enormous amounts of time, but it sometimes introduces unexpected problems. Rather than ignoring the mistakes, I begin carefully examining the damaged areas. Quality control is just as important as construction itself, because small errors can become very noticeable in massive builds. Oh no, time flies so fast, I didn't even notice. I start repairing the surface by hand, while also using additional commands where appropriate. Different situations require different tools. Hand building offers precision, while commands offer speed. Knowing when to use each approach is an important skill for advanced builders. I gradually fill missing sections, smooth rough transitions, and remove awkward formations. Every correction improves the overall cohesion of the planet and helps maintain the illusion that it formed naturally. Once the exterior is repaired, I move underneath the planet and create an entrance leading inside. Interior spaces often add another layer of depth to large projects because they reward exploration. Instead of making the planet a solid object, I want it to contain something meaningful within its core. Hidden interiors encourage curiosity and transform the build from a visual spectacle into an interactive experience. The entrance is designed to feel like a secret passage leading toward the center of an entire world. Deep inside the planet, I use a command to create a massive obsidian pillar extending toward the central region. Obsidian is an excellent material for focal structures because its dark color immediately draws attention when surrounded by lighter blocks. The pillar serves both practical and visual purposes. Structurally, it acts as the centerpiece of the interior. Artistically, it provides a strong vertical element that contrasts with the spherical shape surrounding it. Last minute, I have to hurry. Finally, I construct a spiral staircase around the obsidian pillar using obsidian slabs. Spiral staircases are particularly effective in large vertical spaces because they allow movement while continuously showcasing the surrounding environment. As the staircase rises from the bottom toward the center of the planet, it creates a dramatic journey through the interior. The dark obsidian pathway wrapping around the central pillar gives the space a monumental atmosphere. By the time the staircase reaches the core, the project has evolved from a simple water sphere into a massive world containing biomes, structures, exploration paths, and an impressive interior centerpiece. Great! My planet Earth is ready! It's time for me to show it to the guys.
Wow, JJ, you've got such a beautiful planet Earth. I can't believe you built it in such a short time.
Thank you guys. I am very glad that you liked my building. Friends, be sure to write in the comments whose building you liked the most. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.